Joining me now from Lubbock in Texas is Oliver McGee, who is a former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary for Transportation, and we appreciate your time so much. So before these attacks, how would you have characterized security at the airport in Istanbul?
Well, right now I think Istanbul's airport needs to be congratulated for having a suicide bombing. They're up and running in 24 hours. I think international airports like Heathrow, de Gaulle in Paris could really learn from what we've seen in Istanbul. To have such a grave attack and be running in 24 hours is amazing for aviation security.
Okay, so having said that, how would you have characterized it? Go ahead.
I think really the challenge that we see for aviation security in the future is pushing the security front that we test out from where we're currently doing security out to the curb. We're going to see airports actually being protected like federal buildings in Washington, D.C. But more importantly, there's a physical security clearance, but also there's going to be a virtual push out in that security as well. Oftentimes we have to look at how we're looking at values to storytelling, because a lot of times these things, this war on security is won on the social media before we actually get to the airport. So we have to stop this type of a movement into the airport and this type of recruitment so that we do not have airports under threat. But right now, you're going to see the window for security to be pushed out from where it currently exists out to the curb.
What airports would you say right now are doing well when it comes to security? What is the standard?
Well, right now, most of the security is right at the after you get past the ticket counter. But right now, no airport is actually doing this type of security at the curb. But what Istanbul is showing us is that there is a need inside the lobby, because the terrorists are now booking themselves with suicide bombs, and they're turning the lobbies, the ticket counter, where we engage the infrastructure of the airport building itself, and turn it into a kill zone. So what we need to do is to push that security front out to the curb to be able to secure how people have access into the airport building itself now. Unfortunately, the growth of terrorism really changes the type of liberty and freedom that we have. But this is the circumstances. What we saw in Istanbul was a witnessing of a new breach, a new hole that the terrorists have taught us about aviation security. So all we need to do is plug that hole up.
Oliver McGee. Oh, I'm sorry. No, go right ahead.
And I think also what we need to do is also look a little bit about how we're looking at the future of technology in aviation security. I oftentimes says it's all about the technology, infotech, biotech, wireless tech, microtech, nanotech, even cognotech, telling how the stories and the values before we get to the point of creating the growth of terrorism. Make no bones about it, Istanbul was a tragedy. But we can learn from that by setting these technologies in place so that we can make sure that we're in front of the terrorists instead of behind them. We don't want to be reactionary in aviation security. We want to be proactive, and we also want to be ahead of the game. And I think it's calling for governments and even laboratories and scientists in universities like here at Texas Tech on studying what is the future of aviation security as we move on 5, 10, 15 years down the line, so we can be ahead of the terrorists instead of behind them.
Absolutely. Oliver McGee, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.